This is part two. We'll see if we can put these two together. If not, it will be whatever. If you didn't go back, see part one, and you'll see the rest of it. We'll see who else comes up here. But all right, so um, let's. So we were talking about um, the stuff that of overcoming the no, and this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with, of how to overcome that no. So let's talk a little bit about how did you overcome the no.
There really is never no way to overcome no. I mean, rejection is rejection. You can't take it to heart. Like, you get a no, you keep on going. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't the end of the world. All they can do is say no. You got to keep going.
And it's kind of the power of one, correct? Just do one more.
Yep, one more. That's it. All they can do is say no, and that's it. Just keep going.
So what? So obviously you got a lot more no's. What do you know? What your close rate was last year?
Ooh, last year I don't. I got all my numbers for this year. I'm not sure what my close rate was last year.
All
It
right. Well,
wasn't high.
what's your close rate for this year?
My close rate for this year is 34%.
34%. And what's your average ticket?
981.81.
Wow, that's awesome. Um, you made more in one job on average than you did all week at your other job, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. We clear in a day. What we used to bring home all week.
So obviously last week you were working a lot and being hustling and getting things done. How has time with family been a little bit more this year versus last year?
Last year, like I said, we worked 7 days a week. We did not do that this year. We told me and my fiance talked to each other. Family is the most important thing to us, so we only work Monday through Friday. We don't do nothing on Saturday. We don't do nothing on Sunday. Like, we might remote quote something, but we don't go to people's houses. We stay home on the weekend, spend time with our family.
Let's talk about that. Do you do in person quotes or on the phone quotes?
This year, really, we've been doing 2 3 jobs every single day, so it's usually getting dark by about the time we finish. So it's usually her in a truck while I'm working, looking up the house and just giving them a roundabout ballpark estimate. And then if they're good with the ballpark estimate, we go out there because we are high.
Okay. Keep it that way, he said. It's what Chris said.
Yeah.
How are you getting your repeat customers back from last year?
Well, we got first off from last year, every person we did, like, we keep their email, and we ain't got. I know the last question for this shutdown was, "What CRM do you use?" We don't have no CRM. My fiance is a CRM. We got everything in books. We keep everybody's email. I mean, our tickets, all that. So with them people that we had last year from Christmas and pressure washing, we send emails out to them every so often to all of our customers. We text them, and yeah, that's how we've got our repeat customers and our customers from last year.
Gotcha. And so with what we've done so far, what have you learned from this year or last year? What are some key takeaways, especially for someone starting to try to start a pressure washing business? What are some things that you have learned along the way? I always say, you learn from your failures, right? That's the best way to
Yeah.
learn. And if you fail fast, the faster you learn. So, what are some failures that you learned some things for?
Upsell is the biggest one. I mean, upsell, like I said, don't leave money on the table. There were so many times I would just hit a door and be like, can we offer you a house wash? And they would need so many other things done. Like I said, listening to you and Chris about getting that ticket up there and going for everything and not leaving no money on the table. Also, don't be afraid to charge. I mean, last year when I was given some of these numbers, me and my fiance would be in the truck looking at each other like, we don't even want to tell these people it's going to cost this much, because I had in my mindset like I'd never pay that. But you are not your customer, so charge them high tickets and give it to them, because if they're going, keep giving them.
So, a bunch of people's like, you need to get a CRM, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
We do.
It will save your life. I know that you absolutely can keep up. You can't keep up without a CRM. I know that our friends down in Florida, PPW, they all or it ain't PPW. That's not it. That's a competitor up here. But P&P down there, she used to be like my CRM. I have the best spreadsheet, and she went back and forth with me to get a CRM. And finally, when she did it, she was like, "Oh my God, this is life changing." Because she's like, I was spending 2 to 3 hours on this thing, and this takes me like 10 minutes. I was like, I told you so. So, and like Chris said, I know other people do the same thing. You need a CRM. Books get lost, wet, or worn, or lost, or done, whatever. So that is true. So obviously, I know when I've talked to you before, and I love the one story you talk about going to the clean houses. How did that when you first went down that street of clean houses? What was the feeling going through your head, and what happened when you did that?
Well, just like a lot of things Jason has told me in the past, I've told my fiance, like, this is crazy. I mean, there ain't no way. When I hear it, like, it just sounds so unorthodox to me. I'm like, it ain't going to work because we was them people, like, if we see a clean house, like, I might put a door hanger, but I wasn't knocking because I'm like, the house is already clean. They ain't going to want nothing. And then you came in and said, you need to be hitting them clean houses. Them are the people who want it. So the first time I tried it, we went to an all real nice neighborhood, all clean houses. We started down the street. I told my fiance, I said, look, we're going to go to the end of the block. It was like 10 houses on each side. I said, we're going to hit these. If we get all no's, I was like, we're getting out of here. We didn't get very far. She got to like the second house, and we had $2,000 and some dollar job sold, and then I might have got 4 houses down on my side and sold like a 1750. And I mean, from there we ain't looked back. Like I said, we're hitting clean houses because that's the truth. Like I said, them people with dirty houses, you got to think they don't care about their house. Just like somebody that ain't mowed their lawn or anything like that, they ain't worried about the outside appearance.
But the people that clean their houses, they have nice cars. They're clean. They have newer cars. They have their yard done. They have it professionally done. They usually will have lines and stripes and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah, we just signed up a lady. We just signed up a lady for the weekend after the 4th of July. It was for, I think, $3,200. And she's getting pavers, fence, all that. I mean, her stuff, it don't look like, I mean, I didn't say nothing to her, but I mean, it's clean. Like, we're going to have to take water-fed pole down the gutters. Like, there's nothing on them. The fence paneling all the way around, there might be mold on one panel. Like, it's not bad. And she said she just had it done last year. Like, everything's still fresh. But, I mean, them are the people you want. It's less work.
absolutely. And actually, Michael just put on this preach the clean house, the importance of annual cleanings. And actually, DJ just did a job that was like $8,800, and he's like, it was clean. And the dude comes out and it's like, man, this is amazing, and that's the way they do. People love clean houses, and they, he's like, wasn't even dirty, and he's like, man, all these windows look good, but there's one that has a streak over it. He's like, I haven't even hit those yet, sir. So he hadn't even hit the windows to get the streak, and the dude was just like mind blown, right? And and then he sold, that was 8,800. Plus he's going to sell there's a good chance he's going to get the driveway sealer, so that's another 10 grand. And it's all by doing the clean house. It's a clean house. Everybody worries so much about clean houses. I hate doing clean houses. I love clean houses. And the reason why I love clean houses is even if there's not even no dirt on it, like literally no dirt on it, they will come out of that house and act like it's the most cleanest house they've ever seen. Like their house was just filth because that's the way they do stuff, right? I bet you they keep their car washed every day or every week. They do, their inside of their house is immaculate, and the outside of their house is immaculate. And that's what we want, right? And if we know that's who they are, guess what? We can put them on a service plan. We can put them on all kinds of different things, and those are your best customers. And the other good thing about those customers is usually they have friends. And guess what? We want the referral of their friends because they're usually just as anal as they are because people hang around like-minded people. So there's reasons why you want to do these things to make sure that you are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
actually makes sense. They have a clean house because they upkeep it 100%. You know, this is definitely something that people struggle with, and it is something that it can be done. Um, Hallelujah. Put once you close a job door knocking, do you do that job right then, or do you schedule it out?
No, we always schedule it because we spend, like, if we are out knocking, we'll spend that whole day knocking. So we'll schedule it for that, like that week. And also the best days, we knock Monday through Sunday, but our best days would be Saturday and Sunday when we get the most jobs. And yeah, we'd always we if we start knocking, we're gonna knock that whole day and try to stack as many jobs up as we can.
Gotcha. All my annuals are spotless, and they all say that's how they want to keep them moving forward, right? And that's their pain point, right? You can sell on that, and that's the whole purpose of why we do this, and why that it's that's why you do what we do, as I say here of this. So we talked a little bit about the fear of bills and the fear and overcoming no, right? Because no, I think is a lot of people's hardest thing to overcome, is the word no, and they think that you're a failure. So you're not. It's just you have to see what you're doing wrong. It might be you're not doing nothing wrong. You might be in the wrong neighborhood or the wrong place. That's not knowing what it is. What are some other ways of marketing that you're using that's getting jobs for you?
Other ways of marketing, door hangers. I do like every house we do knock, and then somebody don't answer. I get a bunch of calls on our door hangers. We got yeah, we get door hanger calls. We got Google. We've done Google ads. We're on Yelp. We're on Bing. We're on Facebook. Posting in Facebook groups. Our website.
So you're hitting it from all angles, not just one angle, and it's working out for you because now you don't get as much exercise of walking door to door, do you?
Yeah, no, yeah, we definitely. That's a beautiful thing, man. I'm telling you right now, all that not having to knock, I don't miss that at all.
But you had to do it to get to where you are now, right?
Yeah, that's the only way that sustained us. We would not be in business this year if we wouldn't have knocked every day last year. When you're starting out, like I said, there's only so many things you can do, and you got to power through and do stack as many things up as possible. Don't just try one thing. You got
This
to
is
try to tackle it from as many ways as possible.
this is a good question on it, and I've never really had anybody that has done door knocking like you have, and be successful at it, of coming out of success wise of moving out of it. But when it comes to door knocking, how long before you start feeling a little bit more comfortable? It is so nerve wracking.
Yeah, it definitely is. But once you start selling them tickets, I mean, give yourself a little while, keep going out there every day. And when you start closing them tickets, each ticket you close, you're going to be a little bit more confident. Each yes you get is you're just going to be a little bit more confident and be ready for it.
Trish is actually in our mentorship, but she also comes on to Monday Night Marketing, and this is something that she's been dealing with, and I've made fun of it a bunch because DJ deals with the same thing of putting yard signs out during the daytime. Right? They're so scared to death to put yard signs out in the daytime. It's a big fear. If she gets anxiety, DJ just gets laziness. I think that's all he gets out of it. But it's a big fear. It's a big scare. And today she actually was like, I put out yard signs during the daytime in the sunlight, right? In the open daylight. And it's kind of that same question here. How do you get comfortable by doing it? Is by getting uncomfortable, right? We don't get comfortable. We got to get uncomfortable. Successful people get uncomfortable all the time, and they stay in an uncomfortable zone. When you get comfortable is when you get lazy. It's when you get complacent. It's when you quit doing certain things because you get comfortable, and you're comfortable at a certain spot in your business, your career, whatever it might be. And so it's important that we stay in that uncomfortable zone. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that uncomfortable zone, but when you stay in that uncomfortable zone, you can do amazing things. And that's the awesome thing about the pressure washing business is you can do a lot of amazing things from having a pressure washing business. So the cool thing about it. So tell me a little bit about maybe one or two of your when you had uncomfortable times that you had to get into those zones.
Oh, I mean, pretty much when you first start out, like I think what it really wasn't the nose and the door knocking that made me uncomfortable. It was that I really didn't have the knowledge of pressure washing and the experience of actually doing the job. Because now, like when I knock and people start asking me questions, that was always my fear. What if they ask me this? What if they ask me that? And I think over so much time, and you start to learn all that stuff, and that's really what I'm overcome now. Like when they ask me, I can come and let them know and educate them on the proper ways of doing things.
Right.
I know that was a big fear also.
Yeah, and a lot of times people hold back in that fear and not keep door knocking because they don't know what they don't know, right?
Yeah.
And that's not a good spot either of doing that. What and I know we talked about this on a marketing call the other night or a couple weeks ago. How have you started to learn to overcome some of your objections?
Um, just pretty much put myself out there, like put it all on the table. I give them everything. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with questions. I don't really know what you mean by overcoming objections. Like what?
So if they say no or I got to talk to my spouse.
Oh yeah, then I'm gonna stay on them. I tell them I've been doing this a lot. Like I've been doing the is it the price or the value thing, and then trying to work with them. And then if they say it's value, then tell them what the value of it is because I know I learned that from you and Chris as well. Like keep them talking and let them know you a little bit more because the longer you spend there with them, the more they're going to get to know you and feel comfortable with you. So even if they
Now, do
do
you
say
talk
no,
all
don't
about
take
pressure washing or what do you talk about?
no, when I walk up, I'm looking for stuff. I'm looking at if they got dogs, I'm talking about dogs. If they got a sports team on the porch, I'm talking about that. When I'm walking up, like I always try not to just start with just pressure washing. I try to always look for something else. If they got a nice car, whatever, just look for something to talk about besides what you're doing.
And by doing that, how has that helped your sales and close rate and average ticket?
That's helped a lot because, like I said, you feel more personable to the person instead of, oh, hey, I'm here to do pressure washing. Would you like an estimate? They're like, just go on. When you sit there and try to talk to the person, actually let them know who you are and you share the same interest as the person, you feel more personable to them to where they're wanting to do business with you because you're trustworthy or whatever.
I think Michael posted this earlier. I lost a commercial job 2 weeks ago by not educating my prospective clients of our service. I got complacent. Lesson learned. It happens sometimes, right? And this is a good question or a good answer too. Find the icebreaker, right? Find what we got in common because if we can get in common with people, they will buy from you. They know like and trust factor, it goes way up. They will buy from you. That's the whole purpose of why we do what we do to make that happen. So we at 45 minutes. If you do want to check out more about pressure washing, you can go to KPW Train. That's an in-person training we have coming up in a couple weeks in Indianapolis. It's going to have permanent lighting. It's going to have Christmas lights. Day 2 is all-day marketing. It's going to have Paul Gardner there talking on sales. Paul Gardner is done. He's in an $11 million business, $12 million business, got several businesses, doing a lot of money. He's going to be talking for about 2 hours on sales. And then I will be doing a pressure washing class on Saturday or Sunday. So go check out that. I will also be doing my love languages and this profile. So Friday and Saturday will be long days. I'm just throwing it out there. Friday will probably be till 5 or 6, and Saturday will probably be till 5 or 6 also. So both of them will be a full board class. It's going to be way longer than normal, so bring your boots. Now Saturday or Sunday won't be. It'll probably get done around 4 or 5 also. So it will be a long day. So if you want to go check it out, go check out kpwtrain.com. It'll take you, hit the Indianapolis one. That's where we will be up for that one. Also, if you want to check out the membership, go to kingofpressurewash.com. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's our goals, because I know I'm big on goals and stuff and vision. Where do you want to be at in, say, the end of next year?
At the end of next year, I definitely want to get into getting employees because I always hear you preach that, and that's something I really want to get into is being able to teach people. It ain't so much as being a pressure washing business owner as yourself, or like you said, putting people in the